This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. I tend to kind of forget about the Line 6 Podgo because for me, my favourite Line 6 thing is the HX Stomp. It's about £100 more than the Podgo in the UK. And I think has its own little set of compromises. Like there's 3 foot switches on it, 3 snapshots. The Podgo actually has 4 snapshots, as well as, of course, having all the foot switching that basically means that for certain things, the Podgo is actually more appropriate for certain things. You know, like gigging live, the HX Stomp XL is actually a little bit more useful than the HX Stomp, for example. Similarly, the Podgo, you can reasonably have like enough foot switches that you can get through a gig pretty easily. But the downside with the Podgo for me is that you've only got 1 amp per preset. Not only that, certain elements of the signal chain are fixed. And the other thing is that you've got certain effects from the HX Stomp and Helix that will never come to the Podgo. So we're talking about the poly pitch effects, which actually stand up really well with the Digitech versions, given that they were made by the same people. I've compared them in videos. I think, if anything, I prefer the Helix pitch effects at this point. The Cosmos Echo, which is the Roland Space Echo emulation, isn't in here. I think the Carvin Legacy Drive isn't in here. And the other thing that I actually use quite a bit of in the Helix is dual cabs, because I like to kind of have 2 mics on a cab or that sort of thing. You can't do any of that stuff in the Podgo. However, it is £100 cheaper, and the form factor is potentially a little bit more appropriate for certain things. I think there is a community of people out there gigging these things live. I'm not sure if you're one of those people. Let me know in the comments if you are. There's also the issue of the impedance thing, which is a real thing if you've got an older unit. I do, and I have noticed the difference when I stick a Boss buffer or buffered Boss pedal in between my guitar and this. So that was a real thing. I don't think Line 6 particularly like people talking about it. And it's a shame in a way, because I think, yeah, I'd like to have seen that actually dealt with head on, but it is what it is. I think the fix was to remove a capacitor from the Podgo, and people, I imagine up to this day, are still sending theirs in to be kind of repaired. Basically, I think the circuit boards were made with some sort of issue. Anyway, so I wanted to show you the preset I was dialing in there, because it was a preset that started off on Helix, as all of my stuff does, and I sometimes come over and then recreate them on the pod. I thought this one might be useful for you guys. It's of course based on Aaron Marshall from Intervals, rhythm tone and lead tone. There's a couple of compromises in here because you can't do two mics on the same cab, so I've had to kind of make some choices, but hopefully you'll find them useful. The Podgo presets are mine, you can grab them in the Gumroad if you want, but I just wanted to put this together just in case some people were looking for these sort of creamy lead tones, more modern metal, rock sounds, and something a little bit different to usual because it's got a chorus on there. Let's dive in. So let's go with the lead preset to start off with, because I think this is better. So we've got a Scream 808, and we've got the gain at 1, tone at 4, level at 10. This is really quite simple. Placated Dirty, drive at 6, so this is the HBE from Friedman. The bass at 5.5, mids at 6, treble at 4.5, presence at 5, channel volume at 8.5, master at 4.2. And then we've got the HBE switch on and the fat switch on, but I've got the C45 boost and saturation off. Then in the cab section, using the new cabs, Aaron from Intervals actually uses York Audio IRs. Here I decided let's try the 67 condenser with the 4x12 Cali V30, position 3.1. And then this part here. Aaron's favourite chorus pedal, or one of them, the Dimension. We've got that in the Legacy mods. With the Switch 2 on is, I think how he uses it. I've got the Switch 4 on there. But give that a try. The mix I got nice and low down at 25%. And then for delay, quarter note and eighth dotted, 71% feedback on the left. On the right, we've got 63%. We're using the dual delay, of course. And the left mix and the right mix both at 30%. No reverb or anything like that. We could also... You could, I think, get a lot of mileage out of that as your kind of rhythm as well. So give that a whirl. Then also we've got this rhythm tone. If I wasn't double tracking, I think I'd be inclined to take things a bit further away, or maybe even change the mic altogether for the same as that last one that I was using for the lead. Anyway, so the elements to the rhythm tone, we're using the Horizon drive, Misha Mansour's signature pedal, the drive at 1, the attack at 3, the bright at 5, the gate at 6.9 is where I've got it set for this particular guitar, and level at 5. I think that's right. Actually, let's crank that level. Let me just save that. That is... Anyway, so yeah, give that a whirl. And then we've got the Rev Gen Purple, which is not an amp that I've used before particularly, but drive at 5, bass at 5.5, mids and treble at 5, presence off, channel volume at 10, the master at 4.2, and then the resonance, which is kind of like the bass version of presence, is at 4. The aggression I got down at 0. That's kind of different settings on the amp. You could try that in other places. But I think a little tighter elsewhere. And as I say, this Kali V30, for me, I would normally kind of balance in a 57 with this, but because we're going to only use a single mic at a time, actually using the 67 condenser I think is a bit more of a balanced tone. So that's the two kind of things I was using in the intro. Let me know how you get on with those. I'll drop those up into the folder now. In the Gumroad, you'll be able to grab those if you want them. Cheers for stopping by.